Going into the Queen's Park game, following match day 4 in the JD Welsh Premier League, the New Saints are top of the pile. Does that give the team an advantage psychologically?
I think after a good win last weekend, it gives you a spring in your step. It gives you a full week of training. The lads have been, really good. Tempo to training has been excellent, and obviously the focus has been, spot on and where you'd want it. So, I think yes, when you win games in football, the next one, you want it to come around as soon as possible. So yes, I think it will give us a bit of momentum and an edge to the game.
And the European campaign was a very busy one, not just with the games of course, but also the travelling involved. Now that's behind us, does the fact that we're here at Park Hall on a weekly basis, on the training pitch, help with preparation for games like this?
Yeah, it does. Europe is excellent for us for many different reasons. But now we're into the season, we've had a few games, we're 4 in. We're in the Iron Brew Cup now, which is another little bit of a break from the league. But not a big one because we play again Tuesday. So, we're fully focused, we know the job in hand. It's a competition we like playing in, so I'm looking for not a response, but a sort of a feeling of, it's the Iron Brew Cup again, we're here again, let's give it a go.
And what sort of preparation have you been able to do for the Queen's Park game?
Yeah, someone went to watch a game about 3 or 4 weeks ago for us. We've had someone watch that. We've also had a report from someone now in Scotland. We've had some footage. I've seen them play against St Mirren in the Challenge Cup, where they lost on penalties at Hampden Park. I've seen 2 or 3 of their recent games, so for me that's more than enough to have a look and see where their strengths and weaknesses lie.
And talking of strengths and weaknesses, that will help you determine the approach from the New Saints and also, I guess, the starting lineup. Yeah,
they've got some young players. They've got a bit of experience, but they're playing every other week at Hampden Park. So they're playing on a carpet. They're playing in front of a big stadium. Not that they have the big crowds, but a lovely stadium to play football in. Yes, it's second division, but there's some good players there. The front 3 and certainly the central midfielder, the number 4 for them, the holding player, is technically very good. So we've made the boys well aware of their strengths and who can hurt us if we're not on our game, not on our mettle. And certainly it's one I'm sure they'll be enjoying to come down here and test us tomorrow.
Starting with Europe and then into the Welsh Premier League, you have maintained a settled starting lineup, but with 2 games quite close to each other, Aberystwyth coming Tuesday after the Queen's Park game. Will that cause any change in the 11 that start on Saturday?
Tomorrow we're making changes. Ben Cabango's been ill actually this week, so he was supposed to play for Wales against Republic of Ireland. He's been ill and hasn't been able to take part in any training. He won't be involved tomorrow. So that gives somebody else a chance to start tomorrow. And there'll also be a couple of other changes we're going to make as well. So it's not one where it's going to weaken us. We've talked about our squad, we're going to use our squad, and certainly over the next 2 games there'll be changes, firstly tomorrow and then for Tuesday evening against Aberystwyth.
We've played teams from across the divisions in Scotland, whether friendlies or the Iron Brew Cup competition, and they've all been tough games. Yeah, they are. They're competitive. They
usually play a 4-4-2, a more direct game, a physical game, and it gives us a little bit of variety in our play because we're so used to playing against the same players, the same formations, and when you certainly come up against different players with different objectives in the game, it makes the players think on their feet and makes us think as coaches, different formations to come up against and different players, and they all give you different types of headache and problems to solve, and you've got 90 minutes to solve them. So I enjoy it. I enjoy playing against different teams and certainly playing against players that they haven't come across before too. We've mentioned Europe already. Once that campaign is out of the way, prior to the Iron Brew Cup competition, we were playing just domestic games. Yeah. So I guess playing teams north of the border gives us the opportunity to see where we are as a side. Yeah, and I think going out to see the Scottish Premiership, the Champ, the First Division, the Second Division, it gives you a chance to see if there's any players that we can take as well, because I've certainly made notes and lists of players that I've seen and could do a job for TNS Football Club. There'll be certainly a couple that I did highlight that have gone on to play in the Scottish Premiership that were in the Championship. So, if it becomes available that we need a player that we've earmarked or whatever, it also gives us that option as well, because obviously we don't want to just delve into the pool of our National League. We want to look further afield and give players opportunities. So I think it works twofold. We're out at the moment watching games in the conference, the Second Division, the First Division in England as well. And if players do become available later on down the line, certainly not now because obviously the transfer window's shut, but it's always for future reference. If we see players, and if I've seen players firsthand, it's always good to go back to your list of players and think, yeah, we would take them.
That's a great insight into the workings behind the scene. Finally, Scott, you mentioned Ben Cabango. What is the general injury situation like?
Ryan Brobble, Chris Sargent back to training. Sis has had a week off to get his groin stronger. He will be back training next week. So really, we're back to full strength. And for Monday, probably everyone will be back available for selection for Tuesday.